Hey, call me Louis. This is my spot. LuiSpot.
France President Emmanuel Macron has shown his distaste over the quick growth of the BRICS, an alignment of nations of the fastest developing economies. BRICS, which has invited 6 more members to the bloc, will see it grow to 11 nations coming in January 2024. In a speech addressed to the French ambassadors, Mr. Macron said the quick expansion of BRICS was a threat to Western hegemony. This comes just weeks after Mr. Macron, who had shown interest to join the BRICS summit, failed to get an invite. The announcement was made by South Africa's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Naledi Pandor, at a press briefing mentioning a guest list, which included 67 leaders from African and Southern countries, making it clear that the French president had not been invited.
Et une contestation croissante.
And there is growing criticism of the UN Security Council as well as a number of international organizations, and that is a message we have to hear. The IMF, the World Bank, and beyond, a number of countries who have lost their inhibitions and believe those world agencies have less and less legitimacy. And they were created in a country where those countries did not exist, and that is true. And they represent an outdated world order and no longer reflect the geopolitical or even demographic and sometimes military situation of the day. Now let's not lose sight of reality. But this is reflected in recent symptoms with attempts by BRICS countries to expand their form. We need to be lucid when it comes to what that means in reality. But this also shows a determination to help emerge an alternative order that would come and replace the international order that is seen as too Western and less legitimate. Particularly against the backdrop of growing tensions between China and the US, and of course this rocks the international order. In recent months this has meant that our international commercial order is being challenged. We have the number 1 and number 2 trade powers that are now deciding not to respect WTO rules. It's a new thing and we cannot sweep it under the rug. These are new forms of protectionism on the rise, and this means that there's a risk that the world may be partitioned to the international order that is based on law. Democracy is weakened, there's a rising liberal powers, and our ideas of partnership are being weakened.
Et en Amérique latine, alors j'ai entendu beaucoup.
In Latin America, I heard many comments about this summer's summits in the Amazon. But it turns out that today we are not part of the treaty. I wanted to be the only European head of state invited, alongside the European ambassadors, to go and explain in a day how the Amazon is funded. We are an Amazonian power through Guyana. I solemnly say, France is a candidate to join the Amazon Cooperation Treaty Organization and occupy its full place to have a representation associated with French Guiana. It is very important, and we must exercise our diplomacy through our overseas territories. So I really wish that Brazil and all the powers in the region could accept our registration and allow us integrate this format.
The value of BRICS.
In South Africa, President Ramaphosa has assured that BRICS will be the future.
To understand why these relations are so important for our country and its people, we need to understand the principles and the values that shape our foreign policy and also inform our international relations. Before the dawn of democracy in 1994, the apartheid South African state was a pariah in the international community, condemned for committing a crime against humanity. The foreign policy of apartheid South Africa was defined by coercion, destabilization, and military aggression. Since the advent of democracy, South Africa's foreign policy has been based on what our forebears inscribed in the Freedom Charter in 1955, when they declared that South Africa shall be a fully independent state which respects the rights and the sovereignty of all nations. South Africa, they continue to say, shall strive to maintain world peace and the settlement of all international disputes by negotiation, not war. This foreign policy approach is also a product of the efforts of leaders such as the late Oliver Reginald Tambo, who mounted a vigorous worldwide campaign to secure global support for our just struggle against apartheid. This put South Africa on the global map in relation to the interests of its people, while the world condemned its apartheid rulers. Indeed, our foreign policy is a matter that is vital to our progress as a nation. Through stronger relations with other countries, manifested through investment and trade relations, we are able to grow our economy, create more opportunities for new businesses, and create jobs. South Africa's foreign policy aims to promote our national interests based on the protection and promotion of our national sovereignty and constitutional order. It is also aimed at improving the well-being, the safety, and the prosperity of our citizens, and the achievement of a better Africa and a better world. The key pillars of our foreign policy include the promotion of human rights, peace and stability, and the strengthening of trade and investment ties with other countries. This foreign policy stance that we have taken since the advent of democracy has positioned South Africa as a reliable and influential partner on our continent and in the world. This has enabled our country to have friendly and valuable relations with countries around the world at political, diplomatic, trade, investment, sporting, social, and many other levels. It is these principles that guide our participation in BRICS. Together with the members of BRICS, they being Brazil, Russia, India, China, and ourselves, South Africa, BRICS makes up a quarter of the global economy. It accounts for a fifth of global trade and is home to more than 40% of the world's population. BRICS as a formation plays an important role in the world due to its economic power, its market potential, its political influence, and development cooperation. Yet the value of BRICS extends beyond its sheer size. BRICS countries can collectively shape global dynamics, and acting together, it has the potential to drive significant changes in the world economy and in international relations. Together, the BRICS members have used their collective voice to call for a world that is more equitable, balanced, and governed by an inclusive system of global governance. The value of BRICS extends beyond the interests of its current members. For its efforts to be effective, BRICS needs to build partnerships with other countries that share its aspirations and perspectives. An expanded BRICS will represent a diverse group of nations with different political systems that share a common desire to have a more balanced global order.
What do you all think? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Otherwise, give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Comment if you have any other thing to say and share. Also, make sure to subscribe to this channel if you're new and want more videos like this. Until next time, peace out.